China's military says it tracked and warned away a United States warship that had illegally entered waters it claims in the South China Sea. The U.S. Navy denied China's claims, stating that the ship was on a routine operation and left the area of its own accord. In a statement on Sunday, the Southern Theater Command of the Chinese People's Liberation Army, PLA, said the USS Milius, a guided missile destroyer, intruded into waters around the disputed Paracel Islands. The PLA organized sea and air forces to track and monitor the ship in accordance with the law and warned it to leave, spokesperson for the Southern Theater Command Tian Junli said. The U.S. vessel made an illegal incursion into Chinese territorial waters without permission from the Chinese government, harming peace and stability in the region, he said. The theater forces will maintain a high state of alert at all times and take all necessary measures to resolutely safeguard national sovereignty and security and peace and stability in the South China Sea, he said. China's state media described the U.S. ship as having trespassed in Chinese territorial waters. The U.S. Navy on Thursday disputed the PLA statement, saying the destroyer was conducting routine operations in the South China Sea and was not expelled by Chinese ships. The United States will continue to fly, sail, and operate wherever international law allows, a statement from the U.S. Navy's 7th Fleet said. A tweet from the 7th Fleet made no mention of the USS Milius's encounter with Chinese naval forces. The U.S.-China tension has been growing in recent months as Beijing adopts a most aggressive stance towards Taiwan and as Washington seals agreements for military cooperation with Asian states which are party to territorial disputes in the South China Sea. China claims sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea, a strategic waterway through which trade worth trillions of dollars happens annually, despite an international court ruling that the assertion has no legal basis. The Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and Brunei have overlapping claims in the sea, and they have accused Chinese vessels of harassing their fishing boats in the area. The Paracel Islands, where the USS Milius was spotted, are also claimed by Vietnam. The U.S. sends naval vessels through the waterway regularly to assert freedom of navigation in international waters. The movement of U.S. ships in the disputed sea has raised tensions with Beijing. China on Monday held joint flights of jets and voyages of naval frigates after a U.S. warship sailed through the disputed South China Sea amid Beijing's encirclement of Taiwan. Southern Theater Command of People's Liberation Army, PLA, said it organized naval and air forces to track and monitor the U.S. Navy destroyer USS Milius when it illegally trespassed into waters near China's Meiji Reef in the Nansha Islands in the South China Sea on Monday. Beijing's statement came after the 7th Fleet of the U.S. military in Asia-Pacific deployed its Arleigh Burke-class guided missile destroyer USS Milius, DDG-69, in the South China Sea on Monday. The fleet said it asserted navigational rights and freedoms in the South China Sea near the Spratly Islands, consistent with international law. At the conclusion of the operation, USS Milius exited the excessive claim area and continued operations in the South China Sea. The United States engaged in normal operations within 12 nautical miles of Mischief Reef. Under customary international law as reflected in the Law of the Sea Convention, features like Mischief Reef that are submerged at high tide in their naturally formed state are not entitled to a territorial sea, the statement said. The voyage of the U.S. warship comes as China's three-day military sword exercises around Taiwan continued on Monday. The PLA Navy Shandong Aircraft Carrier Group was in waters to the east of Taiwan Island from where Chinese sorties, including those of J-15 carrier-borne fighter jets, equipped with live missiles, took off and landed, according to Chinese daily Global Times. Taiwan's defense ministry said its air defense units remain on high alert for contingencies, steadfastly maintaining their posts 24/7, showing that we can and we will defend our skies. Earlier today, Taiwan detected 70 PLA aircraft and 11 PLA naval vessels around the island nation, 35 of which crossed the median line of the Taiwan Strait and entered Taiwan's southwest and southeast Air Defense Identification Zone, ADIZ. China launched mass military drills after U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy hosted Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen for a meeting in California last week, after Tsai's 10-day trip to Central America.